Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our daily word today. It's Tuesday. Glad you could join me for our time together and our ongoing conversation through Scripture. Looks like it's going to be a rainy, possibly stormy day this afternoon, so I hope that everyone is prepared for that and has a plan to be safe. If those storms develop this afternoon, it's rained a lot. Our yard is actually underwater where the kids' playground is at, and my sump pump is running about every minute or so. So hopefully you're all safe and are prepared for whatever comes this way in this month of April. April showers bring May flowers, so they say. So we'll just have to trust that that's what's going to happen for us as we move forward. So, as always, I'm grateful you could join me, carve out time to be with me, spend your time with me in these few minutes every day. They offer greetings whenever you join right now or a day or two from now or a week from now, whenever it is. I appreciate that you do that. So today is daily word number 889 in our long journey together. And I've chosen for this morning Matthew 19, verses 13 through 14. And this is one of these interesting encounters that we find with Jesus and his disciples who think they have his mission figured out, and this interruption that happens in this story. And so we hear this. Then little children were being brought to Jesus in order that he may lay his hands on them and pray. The disciples spoke sternly to those who brought them, but Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me, and do not stop them, for it is to such as these that the kingdom of heaven belongs." We have a lot of little kids in our church. It wasn't that long ago that I said to one of our young moms about her daughter and my granddaughter who used to play back and forth in the pew, and they had to bring them up for the children's message. I said to her, "Won't it be fun one of these days when they can bring themselves up for the children's message?" Well, now they bring themselves up for the children's message, and boy, do they love it. And Sunday, they went running back the side of the pew. Um, the one mom thought it was only her daughter, and it happened to be my granddaughter who was chasing her. We have these interruptions, and parents get all shook up about it. And I tell them that it's fine. On Wednesday night, we have some young folks that come, and one little guy likes to climb the stage and has a lot to say. And I always say to his mom, he is fine. He's not interrupting us. Sometimes in worship, we have somebody drop a pew. It couldn't be, not necessarily a kid, but, or we have when we have communion, sometimes our littlest people drop the communion cup in the middle of a serious moment. We sometimes hear, uh-oh. It's those interruptions in life that ought to remind us of what Easter's about. Jesus is teaching. He's there, probably in this important part of his message. And then suddenly, people appear with their children. And they want Jesus to bless them and pray with them and pray over them. And the disciples are like, "No, don't interrupt. Don't make noise. Don't go sit on his lap. We don't want any of that." But then Jesus says, "It's okay." What I often say of little kids, it's okay. Let the little children come to me. Do not stop them, for to such as these that the kingdom of heaven belongs. Jesus gets interrupted, sometimes like we do, don't remember everything that we're saying. The disciples are furious. In that moment, in this scripture, this is the Messiah. And every word that he says, people are hanging on. Every single word. But Jesus, in the midst of this, and the disciples, trying to get him back pointed in the right message, shrugs him off, shrugs off the disciples. says, look, what I was saying is not important. And then he says to them this, you want to know about heaven? Here it is. This child right in front of you, that's heaven. No grand announcements, no saying the right words about communion, no soaring rhetoric, but life, children, noise, the midst of things, interrupting whatever we think is so important, this real life breaking in. It's Tuesday after Easter. And I got to thinking about this in this kind of way. If we really want to know about Easter, maybe this is the story. Not lilies, not trumpets, but Tuesday, today. And the person right in front of you, wherever you are, wherever you're going to go. We get interrupted in life. Happens all the time. Things happen, we get interrupted. People come to my office and they think they're interrupting me. They're not. I love to have people just stop in and have a conversation. They're not interrupting me. They can't take away from me this important thing that Jesus said, look, this is heaven. People who come to hear the good news, this is what heaven is all about. And so for us, in the midst of these days after Easter and figuring out what's next and complicated days and trying to figure out how we make things go forward in really good ways, as I'm trying to do, there's this reminder from Jesus. Look, what's most important is today, the person right in front of me. Interruptions might take us away from what we think is a very important moment, but that's how the resurrection happened, right? Mary Magdalene goes, thinks she's going to do this important task of treating the body of Jesus with the spices. And she's interrupted by the young man, the stone rolled away, and the news of resurrection. Peter doesn't sit idly by, but leaves the safety of the upper room and has to make this journey to see for himself. What's most important is what's right in front of us and how God comes and intervenes in our lives right where we are. And that's the good news for us. Jesus says to the disciples, look, you want to know about heaven? You want to know the importance of what I'm saying? Here it is. It's life. It's life being interrupted by the presence of God in your midst. That's the word for today. I hope it's a good word that helps us, that makes sense for us as we strive to live our lives together. So thanks for joining me for our time together. There's no Wednesday night this week. Taking a little bit of a break. And then, but of course, we'll join Sunday morning at 10:15. We'll have communion. We'll have coffee hour following worship. So hopefully you'll join us for Sunday morning. And as well, tomorrow morning here at 10 o'clock. As always, know of God's love that surrounds you. Know of my love for you. And I will see you tomorrow.